friends. For those of you who have been following my adventures in quarantine, you might know that I just came into possession of 25 pounds of carrots for two reasons. One is that I can't read, and the second one is that it was $5. So for a visual, if you don't know what 25 pounds of carrots looks like, that's what 25 pounds of carrots looks like. And I've already taken 30 carrots out of here. So there are going to be some very happy horses and bunnies in my neighborhood. So Linda and Christina, I'll be dropping off carrots to you guys at some point. So I will be making carrot cake too, but you know, that bag makes like 20.1 carrot cakes because I figured it out. And I don't need 20 carrot cakes because I'm holed up by myself with the dogs. I actually bought the carrots because Eldon really loves carrots, so I'll put some in the refrigerator and then dole them out. So I thought it might be kind of fun to figure out what else I could do with carrots. And one of the things that I miss about being locked up here is that you can't go out to restaurants or any of those restaurants with those lovely open salsa bars, which we probably won't be seeing those for a while. And one of the things that I really love is the pickled carrots, jalapenos, and onions. And so I found a recipe for that, and I thought I would try it out. So this is a recipe from the internet. It's from a blog called Kevin Can Cook. Kevin is cooking. Kevin, what the hell is it called? Oh man, see, I think you should give credit where credit is due because he's going to be down. Kevin is cooking. There you go, keviniscooking.com. And this starts out with 2 pounds of carrots. And for those of you who have never measured carrots, they look about like this. That's 4 really big carrots or 6 smaller carrots. And I like to slice them on a mandolin at an angle. And an angle gives you that kind of really nice shape, like that. And if you don't have a mandolin, I mean, of course you can use a knife. A lot of people are afraid of mandolins because they're very, very, very sharp. And you know who you are, Vicky. Vicky almost took her arm off with one of these. So it actually is good to keep a little, you know, edge on the top of your carrot so that you don't have to get right down to it. And they fold up nice. I have a lot of friends that are afraid of sharp knives. And if you're afraid of sharp knife, you shouldn't get a mandolin. And I've cooked in a lot of people's kitchens who don't ever have a sharp knife because they say that it scares them. But it's like shaving with a dull razor blade. You know, it's not accurate and it kind of drags. So it's actually more dangerous not to have a sharp knife because sharp knives are more accurate. But I don't have $1 million to spend on knives. So I actually have this Fibrox knife that Cooks Illustrated gave a really good rating to, and it's under $40, and you can get it online or at any restaurant supply store. It's a great knife. The reason I like this knife is it's dishwasher safe, it's not fancy, and it's very, very sharp. And it's a good knife that you can beat up and don't have to be afraid of, but it handles really well in the kitchen. So in this recipe, it calls for 2 pounds of carrots and 2 large jalapenos. So here's some jalapenos. You know, every single time I go to eat pho, I rip the jalapenos apart with my fingers, and then I shove my jalapeno violated fingers right into my eye sockets shortly after. And I've been eating pho for 20 years, and I really have not learned. I kill my eyes every single time I do it. So that's crazy. So there's those. Those will go in the solution at the same time. So I also cut these at an angle. There we go. They don't have to be perfect. So there you go. You've got 2 jalapenos and 2 pounds of carrots. So then it also calls for half of a white onion, and I didn't want to cry on camera, so I did not cut these on camera. However, I will say that I read a tip the other day that says if you put the onion in the freezer for about 10 minutes, you don't cry as much. And it actually kind of worked today, so that was kind of cool. So I'll put the onions in there too. So now that you have the main ingredients for it, you're going to make your brining solution. And so this brining solution calls for 5 cloves of garlic. And for those of you who find garlic very hard to peel, it's really fun to just, you know, break it apart with your hands and then just take the flat of the knife out and go like that. And then it comes right off. The skin comes right off of the garlic, so that's kind of fun. Garlic's really interesting because the taste of it depends on the shape of it and how you cook it. So if you have big pieces of garlic, it's never going to be as strong as when you have small pieces of garlic. So I'm just going to chop these up a little bit to get a little bit more flavor in the brine. But I'm also going to leave some whole because I think pickled garlic would be delicious. So I'm going to put that in my brine pot, put those in my brine pot. And then it asks for 1.5 cups of white vinegar. And white vinegar was kind of hard to find. But they had it down at the little store in the corner. Oh my God, I can't even open that. Holy crap. Oh, you can't even ask anybody to come over and open anything. You can't ask anybody to do anything. Oh, this sucks. Hold on for a second. I have another one open over here, so I'm going to try this one. But man, whatever. Oh, okay. Okay, whatever. That's not going to work out. So I'm going to put 1.5 cups of, we'll cut that part out. No, we won't. This isn't actually a TV show, so we don't have to cut anything out. So this is 1.5 cups of vinegar. It's going to be a little short on here because apparently I'm a giant pussy and can't open the bottle. That's not good. Oh, it's not, now this is going to really bug me. Okay. Anyway. And then you use a table of vegetable oil and 1.5 cups of water. So I'm going to put the water in there. And a tablespoon of vegetable oil. I actually got this at Costco when the marauding hordes were buying up all the olive oil. The one that had garlic in it was left. And who doesn't love garlic? So put some in there. A couple of glugs. That's about a tablespoon. And this recipe also calls for 6 bay leaves. So put those in there. And it calls for 10 black peppercorns. Where'd you go? Oh, there they are. They were hiding. Okay, there's black peppercorns. And 2 teaspoons of Mexican oregano, which actually is supposedly different from regular oregano. I don't know how. It smells a little different. It's nice. I use that to make Mexican chicken for like enchiladas, and I use it to make chicken tortilla soup because it is delicious. And then it calls for a teaspoon of kosher salt, which is right there. Aren't these cute? These little tiny mason jars. I use these for my spices because, you know, they keep them really fresh and they're very compact. I really like those. And I use these for when I have a lot of one spice. So, you know, the other thing I thought would be really cool is if you made this recipe but made it Asian. And you could do that by using ginger, and also instead of the black peppercorns, you could use prickly ash. So I might try that later this week and see how that turns out. All right. So I think that's everything for this. And you're going to be putting this on the stove and bringing it to a boil. And after you bring it to a boil, you add the carrots, onions, and jalapenos, and you stir it really, really good. And it looks like it's too many carrots, but it actually does end up cooking down a little bit. You don't want to overcook the carrots because you don't want them to be mush, because you know you want it to be nice and fresh when they're pickled. But you cook it for about 15 minutes until the carrots are still really firm, but also really tasty and all stirred up. I read something online where somebody was saying that you cook it until the jalapenos turn army green. So anyway, for the magic of this isn't television, I already did a batch, so I can show you what it looks like. And you can see that the jalapenos are kind of army green, and it actually does look like what you see at one of those relish bars, and it smells amazing. I want to eat it right now. They say that you should put it in the refrigerator for at least 3 hours or you know, a couple of days, and you're supposed to let it cool completely and then put it in a jar. And so that's what it looks like when it's done. This isn't cooled completely. It's actually burning the hell out of my hands, but I wanted to show you what it looked like because it's awesome. So anyway, I also heard that this recipe is suitable for canning if you're a canning person. Not a canning person. Wish I were. Don't understand why I'm not, since I'm kind of a food snob. But it's supposed to be the right pH for that. And they say that, you know, you can just put this right in a water bath and then it's ready for canning. So anyway, I'm going to cook the rest of these up, put them in the jars, stick them in the refrigerator, and then try them and see what they're like. So anyway, that's for my friend Ramel, who asked me about making pickled carrots. And hope you guys are doing okay out there. I'm course, trying to occupy myself. Okay, so I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.